So the guys are ready.
Gun is going hot.
They have their .45 caliber gun with its large, slow-moving slug, perfect for this experiment, aimed by a laser at the tip of the match.
Firing in 3.
Surely this won't take long.
1.
Maybe it will.
Not lit, not even gone. Apparently it's too low.
Despite Adam's pleasure at the quality of the high-speed shot,
That is so pretty. It's so crisp, you can see the reflection of the match head in the bullet.
even with laser-guided precision, they completely missed. So they're reverting to a more utilitarian method of marking the bullet's trajectory.
Let's do it.
Cardboard and trial and error.
3, 2, 1.
Plenty of error.
That's crazy high. Well, you shot the head right off.
And plenty of trial.
Oh, it missed it. So close, but it's not touching it. Well, we're a few shots in and we have not gotten a match to light yet, but we're in the thick of it. So close. We knocked most of the red off the match without destroying it, so we're really close. We're trying to get this grazing action without destroying the match head, which we've already done.
Too high. We want to just graze the very tip of it.
I don't know, to get one to light may take another few shots, may take another few hours. What do you think?
I don't see no fire.
No lit match, but a quick look at the high speed confirms they are on target.
Oh, perfect. It's just knocking off a little bit of the white there.
Just barely touched it.
That's what's required.
Could that be myth busted? The bullet grazed the match head, but it didn't kickstart the chain of events that end in a lit match. And to find out exactly what happens when you light a match, here's Jamie.
This is how matches work. In the head of the match, you've got a fuel, which is a sulfur-based product. You've got an oxidizer, which is usually potassium chlorate. And you've got glass powder. It's all held together in a binder on the head of the match. The striker has glass powder, but it also has a small amount of red phosphorus. And when you strike the match on the striker, that glass-on-glass friction generates enough heat to convert the red phosphorus into white phosphorus, which happens to burst into flames when it's exposed to air. Now, in a strike-anywhere match like this one, all those same ingredients are on the head of the match. And so you can strike it on any abrasive surface, the same reaction occurs, generates heat, generates white phosphorus, you've got a lit match.
And back on the range, despite feeling like they've got a busted myth on their hands, the guys lock and load for one last shot.
Firing in 3, 2, 1.
Ah, nice! Punch in.
You asked for it, and we made it happen.
Well, that's fully burnt. We did it.
But keep in mind that it took us 9 tries to make this happen. We had precision equipment, and the accuracy required was down to, a 1,000th of an inch or so.
That's great. That is so cool. Well, I was wrong again. This was fully able to light this when they were only in contact for a 12,000th of a second. It's mighty short, but it's mighty confirmed.
All right, quick hit myths from the fan site. What do we have?
Well, the first one comes from the movie Shrek.
Can doggies talk?
No, that's confirmed.
Can we hear the real one?
Okay, well, in the movie, Shrek uses his own earwax to make a candle.
Ugh, that's disgusting.
I'm interested. Please go on.
Okay, well, first we need to find out if earwax is flammable, and finally we need to collect lots and lots of it.
I always wondered what was in my ears.
You might want to get this checked out.
It's a classic scene from the green screen. Shrek pulls enough wax from his ears to form a fully functional, flammable candle.
Here you have a movie myth for us.
I do, Old Bean. It seems that within the logic of an action movie, any building can be escaped from by handily jumping into a dumpster parked next to it. Hop out, dust yourself off, and walk away unharmed.
Well, that sounds like rubbish.
It's an action movie cliche. After a roof runaround with nowhere else to go, a dive into a dumpster equals a guaranteed getaway. But can you really get up and go every time after a trash landing?
So how's this going to go down?
Well, I figured that any line of investigation we pursue is ultimately, hopefully, going to end with one of us leaping into a dumpster. So first things first, I think we need to be trained how to fall safely. I think we need to call one of the stuntmen we know to teach us.
Well, I guess it's time to jump right in, huh?
All right.
Yep, this myth can only end one way, with an actual dumpster dive. And to make sure our MythBusters will live to bust another day, it's off to Treasure Island for Stunt Falling 101.
So in our ongoing training to be action movie heroes, we are about to learn how to take a high fall safely. And this is the building we're going to start with.
This is the airbag that's going to break our fall.
And this
Is the guy that's going to train us.
That's Randy Lamb, stunt coordinator and fall guy.
it's cool in here.
As Jamie said, they're not starting on the dumpsters just yet. First, there's this.
How does this airbag work, you ask? Well, it's called a two-stage airbag, and it works thusly. The first stage, this top part, slows you down by popping, by opening through this very portal that I climbed out of. The second stage, that bottom layer, stops you. It does not deflate.
And that's key, because the name of this game is deceleration. Like they say, it's not the fall that kills you, it's the sudden stop. A jump from a height onto a hard surface will bring you to a stop very quickly. And it's this sudden impact that is potentially fatal. But landing on a soft surface maximizes deceleration, dissipating impact over a longer time, reducing the risk of injury.
Randy, falling 101, what do we have to know?
When you jump, you want to make sure that you land flat on your back and use up as much volume as possible.
Awesome. Can we get started?
Sure. Who wants to go
Me.
first?
I want to go first. Is that okay if I go first? Can I go first? Is that cool?
All right, follow me.
Unsurprisingly, Adam is falling over himself to get started.
Less is more. Yeah, it's a lot higher now, isn't it?
All right, here we go.
But at a height of 13 feet, getting the technique right is vital.
Place your left foot right here.
All right.
Now, you're going to take one giant step out and lay back just like you were laying into a recliner.
I start like this and then just kick one leg.
Just gently step right on out.
Okay.
And then pick your feet up. I want you to keep your chin down when you're ready.
Okay.
Perfect.
Wow. That's cool.
And if at first you succeed, why not go again, and again, and again?
It looked like you did it perfectly.
With that out of his system,
That was awesome.
Don't look now, but there's a Heineman on the roof of that building, and I think he's gonna jump.
Jamie, don't jump. You have so much to live for.
Remember, Jamie, spirit fingers.
So, you know, it's a little bit of a jolt, but it works.
Much better. Excellent.
That beret jumping with you action was really awesome.
Jamie and his beret soon have the fall down too, which means
I think you guys have both got this height down.
Awesome, because I want to go higher. Can we go higher?
Let's go.
yep, it's as easy as moving the airbag to a new location. Or is it?
Well, we're about to bump it up a notch, and make no mistake, when you're looking down at that bag, there's a pretty big difference between 13 feet and 20 feet. The stakes just went up, and so did my adrenaline level. Big night last night?
No, this is a brain teaser. What can you do with these items?
You mean besides cure a hangover?
Yeah,
I don't know. I'll bite. What can you do?
you can break out of jail.
No.
Yeah, the myth is that an industrious inmate lined the inside of his cell wall with sheet plastic, and he had collected something like 10 years worth of antacid tablets, which he exposed to water, creating enough CO2 to pressurize the cell and break the cell walls, and he escaped.
I love it.
What's not to love? For instant freedom, just add water. But can the massive amount of CO2 produced from a pile of bubbling tablets really budge bricks and mortar? We'll need to capture every ounce of energy from a giant chemical belch.
Well, I reckon the best place to start is to figure out what kind of pressures we can get out of antacid tablets here in the shop.
I think you're right. Maybe we should start out in small scale and see what we're dealing with the pressures, the physics, the chemistry, that kind of thing.
Yeah, we're definitely going to need all of that information before we go full scale.
Before anyone breaks out the beakers, they'll need to start building a full-scale cell, which should be as tough as its tenant.
While normally people go to great lengths to avoid a prison cell, we've actually had to go to great lengths to get up close and cozy with one. These pallets of cinder blocks that I'm sitting on will in fact our prison walls make, and that yellow line behind me describes the extent of our test cell.
Construction begins inside Building 258 at the Naval Shipyard. This way they can't be stalled by bad weather. You can tell they're serious by the forest of rebar they use to anchor the jail to the floor.
If you know us, you know we like to build everything ourselves, and we've built buildings before on the show, but in this case, since this story is all about the structural integrity of the building, we figured that we need some professional help, so that's why we've got these guys doing this. This building's going to be tough.
In fact, it's far and away the sturdiest shack we've ever built. It's a cozy 10 feet long by 7 feet wide by 6.5 feet high maximum security cell.
He's got a lot better technique than I do.
That's pretty clear. They're all like throwing it and stuff. I'm kind of impressed.
It is pretty to watch. And hey, these guys are fast.
This professional help thing is pretty good. This morning we had a yellow rectangle on the floor. This afternoon, most of a prison cell.
But the day's only half done for Adam and Jamie. It's back to M5 to find out how much potentially explosive pressure they can hope to wrangle from the humble antacid tablet. Jamie starts with a volumetric test to see how much gas is produced by measuring the water it displaces.
So you release the antacid into here, it expands. That expansion of gas pushes water out of this one into here, and whatever volume we get in here is how much gas was produced by the antacid.
Ain't it great?
I love it. Let's do it.
There's more than enough water to make this work. Jamie pulls the quick-release magnet, and they're off and bubbling.
Look at that. It works.
And they've got a result in seconds.
So it looks like one pill produces about 75 milliliters of gas.
Yeah, about 80.
Well, now my question would be, do 2 pills displace 160 milliliters? Does it scale perfectly linearly?
Double the gas from double the pills would make sense, but science is rarely so simple.
Wow.
The volume of gas produced scoots past the 160 mark and continues to climb.
This one's looking like 275.
To see if the trend continues, the next logical step is to try 4 pills. Double the 2-pill result would be 550 mils of displaced water. And before long, Jamie's wishing he'd brought a bigger beaker.
It's actually going more than
double. It seems like doubling the number of pills gives you more than double the displacement of water.
Before anyone breaks out the beakers, they'll need to start building a full-scale cell, which should be as tough as its tenant.
While normally people go to great lengths to avoid a prison cell, we've actually had to go to great lengths to get up close and cozy with one. These pallets of cinder blocks that I'm sitting on will in fact our prison walls make, and that yellow line behind me describes the extent of our test cell.
Construction begins inside Building 258 at the Naval Shipyard. This way they can't be stalled by bad weather. You can tell they're serious by the forest of rebar they use to anchor the jail to the floor.
If If you know us, you know we like to build everything ourselves, and we've built buildings before on the show, but in this case, since this story is all about the structural integrity of the building, we figured that we need some professional help, so that's why we've got these guys doing this. This building's going to be tough.
In fact, it's far and away the sturdiest shack we've ever built. It's a cozy 10 feet long by 7 feet wide by 6.5 feet high, maximum security cell.
It's got a lot better technique than I do.
That's pretty clear. They're all like throwing it and stuff. I'm kind of impressed.
It is pretty to watch. And hey, these guys are fast.
This professional help thing is pretty good. This morning we had a yellow rectangle on the floor. This afternoon, most of a prison cell.
But the day's only half done for Adam and Jamie. It's back to M5 to find out how much potentially explosive pressure they can hope to wrangle from the humble antacid tablet. Jamie starts with a volumetric test to see how much gas is produced by measuring the water it displaces.
So you release the antacid into here, it expands. That expansion of gas pushes water out of this one into here, and whatever volume we get in here is how much gas was produced by the antacid.
Ain't it great?
I love it. Let's do it.
There's more than enough water to make this work. Jamie pulls the quick-release magnet, and they're off and bubbling.
Look at that. It works.
And they've got a result in seconds.
So it looks like one pill produces about 75 milliliters of gas.
Yeah, about 80.
Well, now my question would be, do 2 pills displace 160 milliliters? Does it scale perfectly linearly?
Double the gas from double the pills would make sense, but science is rarely so simple.
Wow.
The volume of gas produced scoots past the 160 mark and continues to climb.
This one's looking like 275.
To see if the trend continues, the next logical step is to try 4 pills. Double the 2-pill result would be 550 mils of displaced water. And before long, Jamie's wishing he'd brought a bigger beaker.
It's actually going more than
double. It seems like doubling the number of pills gives you more than double the displacement of water.
So this could go exponential, actually.
It's clear there's CO2 aplenty, but the myth depends specifically on the pressure the gas generates. So that's what they'll measure next.
Testing pressure in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, look at that.
They start over with 1 tablet, and again, the results come quickly.
What are we getting there? 1.9? 2 psi?
Yeah, it's about 1.9, just a hair under 2.
Now for a mini moment of truth to see if pressure, like volume, increases exponentially.
All right. 2-tablet pressure test.
If the pressure just doubles, the 2 tabs will fizzle at 4 psi.
Both pills are still going, both tablets are still bubbling. 2 psi is roundly passed, 2.5 psi is on its way. 2.5 psi handily passed by the both tablets, and now rounding up on 3 psi. 3 psi, will we get 3.5 psi? 3.5, anyone for 3.5? Yes, both pills seem to want to go to 3.5 psi on our way to 4. 4 psi, 4 psi. Go, go, yes! Passing 4 psi, the expected linear expansion rate of the 2 tablets, and it seems that their expansion rate is in fact exponential.
In practical terms, that means they might be able to crack the jail cell with relatively few antacid tablets.
Jamie, I'd like you to cast your mind back to your days in the Old West. Okay, supposedly there's a cowboy myth from back then that you could disarm an opponent with your pistol without harming them.
You mean you can shoot a gun out of their hand?
Exactly.
I was wondering when we'd get around to that one.
The time has come.
Back in the Old West, any good guy gunslinger worthy of a sheriff's badge could supposedly disarm the bad guy with a single sharp shooting shot. But is this really possible? And would you really leave him and any bystanders totally unharmed?
Mine may not be so good the next time.
So, cowboy, since you were there, you want to tell us how it worked in the Old West?
Well, there are two parts to this. The first is unarmed and the second is unharmed. Which do you want to start with?
Well, I'm thinking, how much force can you hold on to a gun with? Let's make a plywood cowboy, give him the same amount of holding strength, and take some shots at him.
Easier said than done, but we can give it a shot.
So, first up, Quick Draw Savage sketches a plywood posse. And to give his trio of tangerine bad guys accurate handgun-holding abilities, Jamie knuckles down and gets a grip.
This stuff right here is some of our favorite stuff to have around because it's like hook and loop, but it's actually hermaphroditic. It sticks to itself. Ah, perfect.
Next, the team saddles up and heads on down to the range, the gun range.
It looks great. An orange posse of trouble. We're gonna have to shoot their guns out of their hands. So I'm standing in the Chabot gun range, site of several other Wild West myth adventures by the MythBusters, including Son of a Gun. I think he did it. Gunslingers.
You kidding me?
And What is Bulletproof, both 1 and 2. This time, to answer the question, could this, the primary sidearm of the Old West, be used in a non-violent fashion? I.e., could you use this to shoot one of these out of your opponent's hand and disarm him?
Hey, Adam, come check this out.
What do you got?
This is my human hand grip simulator.
I love it. How do you want to test it?
If you hold on to this gun,
Okay.
and I yank it out of your hand and see what that feels like. All right?
Feel like you got something?
Yeah. I'll have you hold on to this thing just securely, and I'll yank it out of there. And if I feel like they're the same, then we're in business. That's spot on.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, let's mount it up and shoot at this puppy.
Okay.
The gun is placed in the bad guy's grip simulator as if midway through the draw. And with the help of a sharp-shooting laser, Adam and Jamie take aim, ready to fire.
Perfect.
Okay, so we're gonna start off this myth with an impersonation.
Oh, great. Here we go.
Go for it.
Drive straight. Stay above 50.
How about another one?
There's a bomb on this bus. If you slow down, it'll explode.
All right, well, judging from your quotes, I take it we're testing another speed myth?
Right.
Right. Ever since Adam and Jamie tested whether you can prevent a bus from flipping over by moving all the passengers to one side, everyone has been requesting the bus jump myth.
I know this one. It's where their bus is speeding along and they get on an overpass that's unfinished and there's this huge gap. But somehow they pull off this leap across the gap, make it to the other side, drive away perfectly, and nobody's injured in the process.
Exactly.
You're not going to do this through the whole myth, are you?
Yes, I am.
It's a classic scene from the green screen.